Hey, what up, sluts? This is Taylor, and this is a game of survival mode, 2-player on Seatown, playing with my boy, WoodysGamertag. We actually had not played survival mode prior to this. This is our first game together, and we ended up getting to round 32, I think, maybe 33. I don't remember, probably because it's really not a big deal. So, anyway, right here is the best area I've found to defend. Throw up a sentry gun right here, and then throw up another one right here, and it's going to work out perfectly for you. The only thing I can suggest is that once you really feel comfortable in your fiscal situation, I guess I should say, you should definitely make sure that you're upgrading to the grenade launcher sentry guns. Don't stick with the regular ones. They really start to be ineffective after a while, and they start to die really quickly anyway. So once you can unlock that and you're high enough level, don't even bother with the regular sentry guns anymore unless it's a money problem. Always go for the grenade launcher one, because it's really only $1,000 more, and I'm almost positive that it gets way more health as well. But as far as the guns I'm using the whatever the hell light machine gun this is, and then whatever the hell light machine gun the other one is. They're both light machine guns. It really doesn't matter. I could have used the Peaching or whatever that's funny, the only one I know the name of is the one I'm not using. But you can use whichever ones you want, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're using a light machine gun, since at this point in the game, these guys have the most ridiculous armor. Like it's almost to the point where a full clip from like an AK-47 will barely take a guy down, or just like barely put him into that weird kind of last stand crawling futility thing that they go into before they die. But I just think that's silly. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so definitely rock the light machine guns, unless you're a supreme badass, in which case rock snipers and shotguns. But unless you have a death wish, snipers and shotguns are just best to be steered clear of in this game, at least in survival mode. And from what I can tell, shotguns are terrible in almost every context online. I've only played a few times where I actually used shotguns, like, for my primary weapon. I know it's weird because they're actually primaries in this game, but I think I've only played a couple games where I used the shotguns, and I tried to make the SPAS 12 work. I really wanted to believe as hard as I could that it was good again, and that I could rationalize using it and having a fun time with it, but unfortunately I can't. It's a piece of garbage gun. It's not as good as it was in Modern Warfare 2. I don't know, I gotta say it. Gotta come out and say it. And if it is as good as it was in Modern Warfare 2 as far as the specs, then all I would have to say to that is that clearly it's not as adept at maneuvering these maps, either that or it's not as adept at countering the new weapons and kill streaks, because it's just not as effective, honestly. Shotguns are not very helpful in this game. The AA-12 is kind of fun because, I mean, everybody used to get shit for using that gun back in Modern Warfare 2 because it was such a noob weapon, but now you can kind of rationalize using it because it's a primary. And it's fun to use, but at the same time, it's complete garbage. There's no reason to practically use it, so... well, tell us how you really feel about shotguns, Taylor. But yeah, anyway, so shotguns are complete shit and garbage and trash. And check this out coming up, because I believe I'm about to get a helicopter tripling spray. That's right, 3 helicopters with 1 clip coming up. No, but you know what I always wondered is, you know that guy who works for what is it, Spike TV, and does the announcing for Mansers, where he does that really annoying kind of just overly hyped, bitchy, look at that, 3 helicopters, but he always does the Mansers, seeing how many tits you need to survive, or just like something ridiculous that doesn't, not even a cogent thought. But I always wondered, if that guy ever watches one of my videos, how do you live with yourself? You are an annoying piece of shit commentator who... nobody has ever listened to anything you have ever expressed in any show and thought, you know what, that was a valid addition to the show, and this show is better because of that. That sentiment was so intellectually worthy of being spoken that it made me appreciate this show more. No, that's never been said. It's always, like, I always get vicariously embarrassed for this guy. And this guy, like, it's even worse for him, because I guarantee or I don't guarantee, but this guy's probably not a complete dumbass, and he's just a guy with a goofy voice that has to read these signs, or not signs, I don't know, maybe if we were living in a prior age, but he has to read these prompters with these ridiculous things on it, and he has to go home every day and be like, oh, I'm always going to be known as the guy who's talking about tits and wieners on Mansers, and nobody's going to take me seriously, and it's like, what a shitty life, you know? That'd be terrible. Now, this was the time in the game where I started to have a minor panic attack, but then I ran away, found this little niche to hide in, and became better, and then went and saved Woody like a champion god of the ring. That did make sense. I kind of got like 3 different kind of titles that I could say in my head, and then just mixed them all together, and it ended up not being the best of all 3, but kind of just an incoherent smushing of the 3. Yeah, so that didn't even make sense in my head. So, anyway, the mistake that I made in the final round was definitely not trying to buy the Riot Shield squad. Those guys are clutch, fantastic. Earlier in the game, or actually the game after this I played with Woody, we played on one of the difficult maps, I think it's Interchange, and at the same time, I didn't know you could do this, but at the same time we both had our own Riot Shield squads, and since we stayed together, it was essentially like we had a phalanx of Spartans just around us, and just protecting us on all sides. It was pretty ridiculous, and it wasn't like they were getting picked off, because it was almost like there were so many of them that it made it almost impossible for any of them to die, if that makes sense, because they're all covering each other so well, since they really just stand there and provide a distractive shield for you. But yeah, if you're playing Interchange or one of those difficult maps and you are struggling, I'd encourage both of you playing to buy the Riot Shield squads, because those guys are clutch, and they will get you out of a pinch. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that's like an old person like saying? Like young people never say like, "Let me tell you what," but like old people always do. I don't know. Maybe it's because old people think that they know so much more than everybody else, but honestly, I think that's kind of bullshit. I think like old people are kind of in the same boat we are. Like, yeah, they probably have more experience in some ways, but at the same time, we're all just flying around on this big old rock, barely getting by, not really doing that well. But that's all I got to say for now. Probably didn't make too much sense, but hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want more survival mode with myself and Woody, or T-Mart, or whoever the hell, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later.